So this is a newer detail for ZIP System. And what this detail is this allows you to apply the R panel to a roof sheathing system in order to get a continuous thermal break. Now, some things to be aware of in this system, and I'll walk you through some of the details. And a lot of these you're going to have to run past your architect, code enforcement official, or your engineer on the project to get their blessing on it as well as their specifications. So the way this assembly goes together is we have a traditionally sheathed roof. In this case, I'm showing a ZIP System panel on here, but this could just be standard Advantech, OSB, plywood, whatever your sheathing material of choice is. It doesn't have to be waterproof at this layer. I'm just showing this because I have it on hand. So we'd sheathe our roof deck as normal, and then what we have to do is we have to apply a ventilation and drainage cavity in between this and the R panel. Now the requirements for this from Huber is that we have to generate between 1/8 and 1/4 inch worth of space in between these two right here. So in this case I'm showing this is a great off-the-shelf product from Obdyke. This allows you to generate that space right there in one continuous fabric. So this is an entangled matrix drainage cavity. Alternatively, you could do things like put strips of material on here to build out over your framing to apply this. What this is doing is this is creating mostly a vapor diffusion cavity for any moisture that may build up on the sheathing during winter time. So what can happen is we can have an insulated cavity, we can have like closed cell foam on the back side of it, we can get moisture against here, and if we have these two tight to one another, there's nowhere for that moisture to be able to escape. So what this does is this creates a space for that vapor to diffuse out through this sheathing layer right here into this cavity and then travel up to a ridge vent. So 1/8 to 1/4 inch spacing right here. The panel then goes down over top of this material right here and gets fastened down with one of the approved fasteners. Now, fastening schedule is going to depend on your engineer or architect's recommendations, but some details to be aware of is that Huber requires that the fasteners at the edges of panels are 2 inches in. These little lines right here, dashed lines, are 2 inches, so that's a great guide for you. What that means is that at the edges of panels, these fasteners are going to pass through and not into framing, but that's okay. So you want to use a fastener that's long enough to go through the panel, your ventilation cavity, the sheathing, and stick below the sheathing here so you can visually inspect them from below. This also creates the withdrawal resistance that we need for that fastener to hold. Fastening in the field, Huber has specifications on approved fasteners that you can use, but spacing is going to be dictated by your architect or engineer of record. So your spacing in the field will be off of their set of plans, and you'll go ahead and fasten at those intervals. Remember though, 2 inches in from the edge and long enough to pass through.